Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. This is Spirit Journey. Today is Monday, early Monday morning. It's about 12:15 a.m. in the morning. Yes, it is August 14, 2023. How you all doing? Yeah, it's been a while since I've done a live stream this time. Yes, I usually get up early in the morning and do my walk. But today, I something happened to me today, and I try to forget about the incident. And then watching all these videos, and I'm just really just getting into bed, maybe a half an hour ago. But I just started thinking about what happened to me earlier today. And I say, you know something? Let me just talk about it and then go to sleep. Can't really go to sleep. My mind is just thinking about it. Um, I want to talk about an event that occurred. And maybe some of you that might hear what I'm going to say, and some of you may think, well, so what? You're just the person that I want to address this to. So I feel that um, don't demand something. I don't want to say the word demand, but don't ask of someone for something that you're not willing to do. And it's part of my wiring, certain common courtesies, like helping someone with the door. That's me. When I get on the elevator, I automatically, as I'm going in, put my hand on the side so that the elevator doesn't close in case someone else wanted to come in behind me. It's automatic. And I look behind me when leaving a store. This one might be behind me. I don't want the door to slam on them. This is what I call a common courtesy. I don't do it for money. Oh, let me open the door. Maybe someone give me a penny. Never been like that. Never. Never, never, never. I feel that when you do a nicety, a kindness to someone else, that it gives you an open door that a nicety will be returned on to you. It just goes, each other washes each other's hands, so to speak, that you all would benefit. It's something that I do that, um, hey, it's like you may need help one day. Something as basic as a door. Let's say you got packages and you can't, you might need help. And so it's just something, a lot of the doors here in New York City, where I live, some of these doors in especially the very old stores, it's real heavy. And you may need like two hands to open, push open the door. It's hard. And I see when you get these strollers, you realize how uh, the system, it's not considering that someone with a stroller, so maybe even someone handicapped. Maybe they have a, a wheelchair, or those walkers, the people who are mobilely impaired, and so they're gonna need help with that door. Yeah. So, hello, Vera. How you doing? Yeah, I'm just really getting started. But yeah, so it's just something that at times we're going to need help. You might have groceries in your hand, things in your hand. You may have small children, or in my case, small little pets, and you're in transit. You're doing shopping. You have your stroller. Yeah, I had my yeah. I go out with my little dogs. They're in this stroller, and it's a big stroller. Some of you have seen it when I first got it. Yeah, it's pretty bulky. Easy to navigate, but it is bulky, and it's challenging opening the door. Now it's like uh, I favor stores that have those automatic doors, that open up, slide open. Those are really neat. So sometimes I don't even go to my health food store. I go to the store across the street from it because it has. Sometimes I just don't want the hassle with the door, and it's on like a ramp, and it's really difficult. So the store right on the next corner, I might go there instead. But what happened to me now? Yeah, I hope the audio is good. Please let me know if you could hear me all right. You could just tap a one for yes that you can hear the audio. Just let me know that things are working okay. I do have my mic. It is attached to another device, to my iPad. So I'm hoping, I haven't used it in a while, and I'm just hoping that it's working okay. So, yeah, so what happened to me today? I mean, this happened before, but at a different location. And I'm really wondering, because of the incident, what's happening to us. It's my title of this live stream, about a call for prayer for Black New York, referring to the black population here that I'm a member of. So again, I'm not going to ask someone to do something that I'm not willing to do or haven't done. It's part of my upbringing, my wiring. It's automatic. I'm leaving something. Don't have the door slamming somebody. Don't do that. Or the elevator. Yeah, I automatically keep my hand there so it doesn't close on somebody. It's part of the culture, so to speak. And many of us have it, but many of us don't have it. And I'm not doing this live stream to slam or shame because I'm just an angry woman. No, I'm sad. I think many of you know my nature. I'm reaching out because I'm sad of what I see. And I want us to open our eyes and pray for one another. We were a spiritual people. In nature, we're spiritual people. We're goodly people. For us living in the Americas, we've come a long way. And we could have come this far without cooperation and help for one another. Let us help one another. You may need help one day. Something as basic as a door, getting out of a door, getting in a door. Let us be kind to one another. To do a nicety, not because you're going to want a penny. Don't always do something just for the money. And let me explain what happened. Um, I went to a 7-Eleven yesterday. It was right in my neighborhood. I used to always go there. Primarily went there to get ice cream, also chicken or junk food. Yes, I'm being honest. I would go there. I used to get cravings and get things that I know that I don't need. But yes, I did get them. But I had stopped for a long time buying uh, junk food. But I went and I bought some ice cream. I went in there to buy ice cream. I'd gone out with my little fur babies in the stroller, came from the park, and I said, hey, let me just go get some ice cream. So as I approached the store, the door was open. Someone was coming out, and they helped me with the door. I kept the mental note that there was a security guard that was sitting by the door. A young black dude. And I have to also add that I used to be a security guard 20 years ago. I did that type of work just to try to get some money in. Oh yes, it came in handy. Yeah, I, I was a licensed security guard in New York City, the Big Apple. So I know what I know what the work is. So, so I was able to get into the store with the help of people that were on the way out, and they kept the door open for me. And I always say thank you. But I kept the mental note when I got in, who was by the door, um, got the ice cream, bought it, and now I was to exit the store. And so I verbalized. Um, and I verbalized because of an incident that happened the day before when I was leaving my building where I live. They had someone behind the front desk. We have a concierge, 24/7 concierge. And it was a new person. He's wearing street clothes, though. And it was early morning. And so I wasn't sure whether he was new staff or whatever. Um, and the desk is very high, so he may not have seen that I had the stroller. And it's the first time I ever seeing him. Or was he just waiting for his buddy and they allowed him to sit behind the desk? I don't know. But I looked at it, I said, hey, excuse me, could you help me with the door? And he comes out, he said, oh, because I stood and I paused for a moment because I was trying to decide, do I ask him or not ask him to help me with the door? And so I did. And he responded, oh, you just need to say so. Yeah, I'll help you with the door. And he opens the door. So that was like yesterday, not yesterday, um, 2 days ago. But yesterday afternoon, when I went to the 7-Eleven from the park, it was around maybe between the hours of 2 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. I forget what time around, but it was around those times. And when I was exiting, and my remembering about that the concierge desk at my building, and they had that new person behind the desk. And again, the people behind the desk, they supposed to assist you with the door. That's what they're paid to do. Okay. So, um, So I remember the guy said, "Oh, you just have to ask." So, okay, because I think, hey, some men may not want to intervene because you didn't ask, because sexism and women's lib. Some people may play that. You've heard that that in the past. Oh, you're only doing that because I'm a woman. Stupid stuff like that. But some people may want you to engage and ask because some people may not want to be helped. And that is true. I've heard of things like that. So I asked. I approached the door, and the guy sitting down by the door said, "Excuse me, could you help me with the door?" He says, "Huh?" Like he didn't hear me, or he's like startled, whatever. So I repeated. I said, "Excuse me, um, could you please help me with the door?" So he just said, "Well, there's the door right there." I didn't say anything else. And then someone was just happened to be coming in. And so then I wanted to come out when the last person was coming. I says, "Excuse me, could you help me with the door?" Um, and he kept the door open. It was a young guy, young Dominican teenager, teen or early 20s. And I thanked him. I said, "Thank you very much. I appreciate it." And then I exited. And I was angry at the security guard. And yes, he was a black fellow, like a black American fellow. He spoke like an American. He was like early 20s, slim, um, not tall. And I was sad. This person, probably in his early 20s, and I'm 60 years old, so I'm old enough to be his mama. Old enough to be his mama. And he refused to assist me with the door. And I kept that mental note when I was entering the store to see who was, that the security guard that they have there. Because of something else that happened to me about a month ago, no more than 2 months ago. And I made mention of this. Um, Yeah, see, a lot of things remind me of other things that happened to me, and sometimes the things that I do is to really to test, to see whether we have grown or matured. I really hope this device is working. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, no more than 2 months ago. Again, I was going into a bookstore, and they have two doors, the outer door, then the foyer, and then the inner door, and then you get into the actual business itself. And then they have a security guard right by the door. He's a big fellow. He was tall. He was tall, very tall, over 6 feet. And I try to manage what I could manage with the door. So I did open the door to get in the foyer. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, there was no one around that assisted me at the time, but I got in, and it was real awkward trying to get in there. And the person, the security guard by the door, does not attempt to help me. And I looked at him, and then I kept on going. Then when it was time for me to go, and I didn't want to ask, I wanted to, the opportunity for him to assist me. See, there are blessings that will come onto you where you don't have to be asked to do something and that you initiate a common courtesy as assisting someone who's trying to get in the door. Again, it was a big stroller, and it's bumping into the, and it could be cause a raucous noise, and you know, and you don't want the door to get broken because sometimes it might slam on the device. It's sometimes made out of glass. So you don't want anything to break, you know. And you're like the doorkeeper. You don't want the door to get broken or damaged. And just for your job, you can open the door. Yes, yes, they're not doormen, but they are the door monitor. They monitor who's coming in and out of that store. That's a part of their job, and making sure that people are safe. And one of safety is, hey, be able to get in and out of that door safely. If you see something that might cause a damage at your side, you assist. It's common sense. For me, it's just common sense. But yeah, so when I was exiting that bookstore, and he sees that I'm having difficulty. This is an adult. This guy could have been in his 30s, early 40s. And so I get through, and I'm thinking to myself, man, this is my fellow American, right? Black fellow. We call him a sister, right? And he's not doing anything to assist me. So I get through the first door, the inner door, then I'm in the foyer, and I'm opening the exit door, the outer door. So to navigate that one, I turned my back, and pushed my way out using my back. And then I had to move my hand real quickly to keep the door open as I navigated the long stroller to come out. And when I did that, a young white female, someone in the 20s, young, slender female, oh, do you need help with the door? And she helped me with the door. I said, thank you, thank you. And then the door closes, and I'm just about to leave. I'm on the sidewalk now, the public property. And the security guard runs out and looking at me. So I'm wondering, oh, what happened? Does he think I did something? Did I steal something? What? I'm wondering why the urgency in his face. Then he opens the outer door. Oh, miss, I'm sorry. I was meaning to help you with the door, but it's just making excuses, just rambling around. And he looked fearful. He looked fearful. He saw me. He's right there. He's like he monitors the door, who comes in and out of that store. Just like at the 7-Eleven fellow, security guard. He's like the doorkeeper. He's minding that door, who's coming in, who's coming out, etc. And he is much older than the 7-Eleven security guard. So what I speculate would happen with the bookstore, and it's a very a high-end bookstore, very well manned, very well established bookstore, big place, several stories. He does have an earpiece, and what I gather what happened is that see these big places that have multiple cameras. They probably saw that hey, lady's trying to get out. She got a stroller, and you just sit on your ass, and then having the door being banged and all this and that, and you're not assisting her. You're right there at the door. I speculate that's what happened because he came out fearful. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He probably got reprimanded by the people on the other end. Because see, he had that ear thing on, and they probably scolded at him. You didn't help that lady with that door, that stroller. You let it go. Why even go out? I'm already in the street now. And he ran through that foyer, ran, because I see him. I thought something bad happened. So I just said to him, it's okay. It's okay. Shame. Is this what's happening in our community? That we'll only respond when someone shames us? Isn't it shameful, people? Isn't it a shame when people see what you're doing? Shame. You have no shame. See someone in need, someone from your own group needing help, someone with a stroller. Yes, it has little doggies in there. But you don't know initially what's inside until I get in. You see someone with a stroller. It's well kept. I was dressed neatly. We don't want to serve one another. And what I'm feeling is that when you see a black person, black folk in New York, you don't feel that you to assist one another. You don't care about one another. And here this was a young man, both people, both security guards, should have known better. And probably old enough to be both of their mothers, especially the one in their 20s. So the fact that I'm my age alone, and no, I'm not trying to come across like I'm what do you call Miss Daisy. Oh, let's help Miss Daisy. No, I'm not coming from that mindset. The fact that I'm someone that's old enough to be their mama, and you wouldn't open the door for your mama or your grandmother. You have no sense of urgency to assist, to protect your own women. And it was the security guard at the bookstore who had to be, I speculate, shamed or maybe threatened that his job was going to be booted out. So you run out there. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Someone has to scare you to be a gentleman. See, I'm not talking about anything that I'm not willing or have done myself. I see someone need help with the door. I help them. I don't care if they're male, female, black, white, Hispanic, Jew, anybody. And why I say Jew, I was helped by a Hasidic man, a middle-aged Hasidic Jew. I don't know how he knew that I was going to go and open that door. The man was in front of me. It was a nice sunny day. I was wearing a sundress. So it's obvious I'm not of his religion because I'm not dressed the part. I'm wearing a sundress, so it showed, I had my bare shoulders. I was just like a lady. And that's what he saw. He said, This is a lady. And yet she's not of my clan. But somehow he knew, he opened the door that I was going to go in, and he holds it open. I said, Oh, what? Thank you. I didn't have a stroller. I did not have a stroller. He opened the door and waited for me to come in. I said, Oh, thank you. And so he was going to come right in. That he had to go also. That it was just a coincidence. No. He kept going. And he was of a different race, different religion, different. And he did a kindness to me. He didn't do it for money. He didn't do it for chicken. He did it because he's a human being. And somehow he sensed I was going to go to that door. Again, I'm behind him. He opened the door for me. I thanked him. He made my day because he's of a different group. And in New York, there's at times tension between Hasidic Jews and black people. And he did that for me. And I greatly appreciate it. See, that's when someone does a nicety for me, I feel an appreciation for humanity, and I do it for others. And so especially with the elevators, how these elevators close, I keep the door open. It's automatic. When I'm coming in, I put my hand on the side so it doesn't close on me, and it doesn't close on the person behind me. Common courtesy. It's a nicety. Or leaving through a store door. If someone, and I'm noticing some of the young people, they don't have awareness. Awareness. We're not being taught courtesies, kindnesses. Yes, New York, the flavor has a strong flavor. New York City, but it doesn't mean that we're animals, that we don't care for one another. Some of us, yes, it's good to be aware, to make sure protect yourself. Yeah, but I'm going beyond that. What has happened to us, my fellow black New Yorkers? Where has our heart gone? When it happened the first time with the bookstore, that could have been 2 months ago, no more than 2 months ago, and I'm obviously needing help, and he's just standing there like a fucking idiot. I want him the opportunity to assist, that you don't have to always ask. Something is obvious the person needs help. A common nicety to assist. Oh, you need help, miss? Hey, let me help. But you see, like in New York City, unfortunate, the 7-Eleven stores, they're plagued by guys, usually black fellows. And no, I'm not trying to shame and insult my race, but to say that there's a social condition that's happening upon us to warrant that these guys have to always be by these doors. They're working for money, usually to buy drugs. Unfortunate that the social condition is like that, plagued, and for whatever reason they target 7-Eleven stores. It has high traffic 7-Eleven stores. People, the 7-Eleven stores they sell drinks, candies, toiletries, the things that, those common items that you might need frequently. So people coming in and out of those stores. So they go there and hoping that someone will give them some money. And it breaks my heart. Like, why? What's happening in New York City? For us, Black America, black men, young black men, feel like the only job they can get is to go at the 7-Eleven stores and beg for money. And one day, I felt compassion that I had entered a different 7-Eleven. It was early in the morning, and I made a mental note, because he is doing that for money. But I felt in my heart, I said, you know something? I want to do something kind to him. Again, I don't want to give money, but I'll give food. And just I felt make do a nicety, do something for him. And so I knew when I got through the door, I was going to buy something for him to eat. I bought him chicken and a drink. And then this what I was to buy. And then when I was to exit, again, he's at the door. So I said, hey, you like chicken? I said, here, I got this for you, and a drink. He says, wow, why, hey, thanks. And I felt good that day. I felt good that I didn't have to be told, Sometimes it's, you know, it, it's a blessing when you do something, not to get something in return. But I was glad that he said thank you. And he meant it. It's okay to do a nicety for your fellow human being, regardless of their race or color or nationality. I don't want to be so insensitive. See, the hearts of many of us have grown cold. The hearts of many of us have grown cold. And we don't care for one another. And here, after all these things that happened to us for the past 3 years, or everybody, of all races and nationalities and groups, it was strenuous on many of us, if not most of us. It was trying times. And look what happened to Hawaii, Maui. I used to live there. I did that video, I think 2 videos about Maui, the fires that they have there. I lived there. I lived right in Lahaina, right near that banyan tree, right near the harbor. I lived in that town for 5 months, and then I moved to another town. But I was there. And look what happened. And one thing, like in Hawaii, they always talk about Ohana. That's a Hawaiian name for family. See, a lot of, it's a small society. In small towns, in comparison to a place like New York City, people, it seems like when you have a very small number of the population, people kind of watch out for each other, because you're dependent. People share rides, because I used to live in a place, live in Hawaii, and I also had an opportunity to live in the Caribbean, and a lot of people are without. A lot of people, not everybody has a car. They don't have mass transit, so people, hitch rides, and yeah, all that happens. People understood. Hey, you need a little help. Yeah, let's say you live in a rural area, farmers. You don't think that they kind of help one another with each other's cry? Hey, because it's that type of situation. It's harder, and everybody knows. Hey, I may have a bad crop this year. It can happen. So they kind of watch out for each other, and people know each other. People might be even related. People understand. There's an expectancy, and what's happening? Yes, hello, viewer. Good morning. Yeah, so what is happening between us? What is happening for us to um, become so cold, especially members of the black community here? These past 3 years was hell. And so the slogan, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, prove it. Prove it, black folk. Prove it that Black Lives Matter. By something as simple as opening the door for someone who's struggling trying to open the door. Someone with a stroller. Come on, dudes. Come on. Come on. What has happened to you? What is going on? What did I do? What am I doing? Am I doing something wrong? What is happening? What happened to you for you to be so hard against your very own? You say Black Lives Matter, and you're demanding it from people. You were beating up people who you felt, whatever what you felt, crying out Black Lives Matter. But then here, a black woman needed help with the door, and you refuse. Gay black man, could have been in his 30s, big dude. And I had gone in the door, it was at the health food store, and he's blocking my way. He sees, he's looking up for some veggies. I'm right there, right there. And he sees me, he turns his head, and he kind of like gives me a look, like, uh, you're not going to rush me type of look. I never said one word, and one of the store clerks says, "Oh, because I must have asked the clerk something, where something was. Oh, just up this aisle." Well, he said, "Well, you could just go up the aisle." Like he's wondering what's taking me. You know, why am I moving? Yeah, the guy who's blocking my way can't move, and that could have been this year. But I was amazed. He's a big ass dude. I have that big stroller, and I'm waiting patiently. And no, I'm not one of those type of lady that suck their teeth. You know, no, no, no. But I was surprised. Again, I right there, and I'm waiting for him to move. You know, and he sees me, gives me a stink eye, and I'm thinking, wow, what has happened to the black New Yorker, this younger generation? Anger, a resentfulness, and like a competitiveness against it's like a war on the female. What is happening? What's happening to you? What's happening with all of us? Why don't we love each other? Why don't we like each other? Why, after all these years of the BLM demanding that your life matters, but you do not demonstrate it, why aren't you demonstrating that Black Lives Matter? You're waiting for approval? Whose approval? Has your heart gotten that calloused? Has it? Is it that? Is it something that your mother's? Is that the issue? Has your mother, has your black mother, done something so harsh against you? You know, I see what some black mothers do. I'm a woman myself. I don't have children, human children. I've seen things. She's stressed out. A lot of times she's yelling. She's frustrated. She knows she's not liked. Oftentimes she's real overweight. That doesn't help. In the culture, we favor slimmer people than obese. Our attitudes. I've seen some. Yeah, I have to. I worked for the city. I see. We see what happens. A lot of times we go on the train. I mean, this is just New York City. There is a callousness that's prevalent, and you're at war with yourself. Hello, out there. Does someone hear me? There is a war out there. The war is in your mind, and you're at war with yourself and anyone that looks like you or represents you. You are at war with yourself, and you feel to convince yourself that Black Lives Matter. All those chants of the lives of the black matters. But you demonstrate in front of others that it doesn't matter. And that's why you are at war with yourself. And that's why some of you are committing acts of violence against your own. It's not white people doing it. You are doing it. It is what you are doing to yourself. You don't respect, but yet you're asking others who are not invested in you to invest in you and make you feel that you matter. You don't even matter to yourself. You're overweight, you're obese, you wear things on your head that's just not yours, trying to look like somebody else. You create music that is at war with yourself. You are at war with yourself. Wake up, people. Opening the door, is that a big thing to ask? I open the door. If I say something, I help them. If you're a male, it doesn't matter, male, female, black, white, yellow, red. I don't discriminate with that. Because one day I might need help with the door. So it's common sense. So I said, this is a prayer needs to come out. I like to pray for our community. My dear benevolent one, my dear benevolent one, I come to you in all humility. New York City needs your help. America needs your help. I'm a part of a community that is in desperate need of help. Spiritual help, emotional help, financial help. We are in despair. Our hearts have grown calloused. And something as simple as opening up a door. A woman with a big stroller trying to exit a store and I asked twice, "Excuse me, could you please help me with the door?" And the man refused, the security guard. A lot of these black men in security in New York, their hearts are grown callous. And they're being paid to do their job, and they refuse. And only when they got reprimanded, as in the bookstore incident, I speculate he was reprimanded because he ran out the store once I got out. Say, I'm sorry, real profusely, in fear. There was fear in his eyes. And I speculate the earphones that he had on, that someone saw what happened and reprimanded him for not assisting me when I was exiting the building, the store. That you only work out of fear for a penny, for wage. What has happened to your heart? Please, benevolent one, I am afraid for my community. I am afraid for my community that I'm a part of, that I was born into the black community in New York City. We no longer care about one another, but yet point the finger at everybody else being a bigot. When who is the real bigot? They're prejudiced against themselves, and they hate themselves. I ask you, benevolent one, to please minister to our hearts, to heal us, to heal our pain. Many of us come from broken families. Many of these young men, black men, don't have nice mommies or have mothers that are so stressed out, bombarded by the subliminal messages of self-hate. And many of these black women take it out on their children. I've seen it. We've all seen it. We are objectified in their music. Please help us, benevolent one. Please help us, benevolent one, to open our eyes that who is our real enemy is the person in the mirror, that we are attacking ourselves. We're hurting ourselves. We are hurting ourselves. And we need to open our eyes, because what if one day soon a natural or a synthetic disaster happened right here in New York City? Like in Maui. See, Maui, what the cameras are showing, that you have volunteer workers helping in the distribution of supplies to those victims. We need to stick together, my fellow New Yorkers. We need to stand together. Something like a natural disaster, like a fire or a flood, we have to stick together to survive, to thrive. I don't want to just exist within the black community. I want to thrive. I want you to thrive. I want you to walk in joy. I pray to the universe, my higher power, my benevolent ones. I speak words of encouragement, word of healing. Those of you who come from mothers or grandmas or aunties who were evil to you, who treated you harmfully, I apologize for them. I apologize to you, black man or black woman who's in pain because you were raised horribly. I apologize for those people who hurt you. I am sorry if I've done anything against you that made you feel that I wasn't deserving for you to help me with the door when I asked you to, or when I walked past to struggle with the door and hoping that you would help me with the door. I wanted to give that opportunity to bless with the door. You be blessed too. I apologize for anything I've ever done to hurt you. I truly am about your edification and personal development. I wish all the best for you. But we need to work together. You need to open your eyes and start loving. Don't wait for someone to love you. Start loving yourself. If you want respect, you give respect too. You don't have to wait for someone to do something for you. Start doing it yourself. When you do a nicety for humanity, something as simple as helping someone with the door, doors will be open to you too. You don't think so? Know so. What you sow, you reap. And what you reap, you sow. That's all. It's very simple. New York could really be a better place. It's one of the best cities in the world. And it could be better if we start making decisions, personal decisions about our life. Start opening your eyes. Don't wait for someone to say that Black Lives Matter. Be it matter to you by your attitude. Black Lives Matter acted upon yourself and upon others. And you can't say that Black Lives Matter and you don't care about the rest of humanity. It doesn't go just one way. You want love, give love. You want money, give money. The law of reciprocity. This is the law of reciprocity. Am I speaking lie? Or I'm being honest and I'm speaking truth? You want people to respect you, you got to start respecting yourself. Pull up your pants when you walk. Have a belt around your waist. And lay off that drugs. Lay it away. Stop meditating instead. Oh, yes, you can see things through meditation. You don't need those drugs to escape. It makes you be foolish. Look at those people in the street and see how they be acting. You don't need those drugs to make you feel like a man or a woman or whatever. Lay off those drugs. Your body is the temple. It is your temple, and you do not defile it. Say no to drugs. Clean up your life, at least what you can handle. Do what you can do for yourself. Clean up your life. And start doing good things to yourself and do good things to others that you will want people to do to you. It is a principle. And I am fearful when I'm fearful of. See, Hawaii, where I used to live before I moved back to New York 22 years ago, the town I lived in is rubble now. Rubble. Maui, the island of Maui, the town of Lahaina, is all rubble. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you giving me a thumbs up. Yes, I need encouragement too. I need encouragement. Even just a hello. You don't even have to give a thumbs up. You could just say, hey, hi, Spirit Journey. It feels good when people say hello back. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for coming on. You could have been asleep this morning, but you came on my channel, and I appreciate you for doing so. Thank you. Yeah, people, we have to come together. because I feel in my spirit. I'm scared of what has been happening, people. What has been happening to me. I see a lot of things in New York City, and I'm fearful. I see more and more social decay happening to black people, especially the black male. Yeah, the black male is targeted. I know what they're doing. See, it's not just people. It's not just black men that they're getting. They're going to get all of you. Black, white, yellow, red. They're going to get all of you. But see, in New York City, they target black people first. They always have. But I want you to open your eyes. See, they want you to destroy yourself and not care about your community, not even care about your woman. When a man doesn't care about his woman or the woman of his community, when he sees someone that's old enough to be their mother and you're not willing to open the door, what is it saying? How is that edifying you? Do you think that you, black folk, are your own acts to your development? That maybe what's happening in the black is that you are destroying your own community when you don't help one another. Something as simple as opening the door for a woman with a stroller, and you refused. And all the hours, like what happened last week, the young black man, he's about 22 years old. He's on social media, and he was giving out a freebie on what was that, Union Square Park, Union Square, in the city. And I go, yeah, that was the area that of that bookstore that I go to, and the security guard there did the same thing, refused to open the door when he saw I needed help. Even though a young white girl helped me with the door. Yeah, so who's prejudice? The white girl helped me with the door. She says, "Oh, you need help? Oh, let me help you. Let me help you." And right when she opened the door, and then I got through, did that black security guard run out in fear? And I speculate the earphones they had on, the people in charge of this store, because there's multiple cameras all over that big bookstore in Union Square area, right across the street from it. They saw what happened, and they reprimanded him, and he, in fear, ran out. I was already out the door on the sidewalk. "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." Someone has to frighten you of firing you because you didn't assist in opening the door. And the door could have broken if, in the difficulty of me navigating. And someone has to threaten you with firing you. He opened the door then, but I'm already out. So he's opening for himself to, how guilty he felt. He was a big man. When you're a big ass dude and you're not helping, what it looks like, in case you don't know, when someone sees a man, a big dude, an adult, and he doesn't do a common thing, assisting, open the door, you're showing that black lives don't matter to you. That's what you taught. Whitey did not teach you that because that white girl opened the door for me. And I didn't have to ask her. She saw me struggling with the door and came to my rescue. The white man, the white girl ain't the problem. You are. You are the problem to most of your problems here in New York City. You are believing lies and you're teaching lies to other people, other groups, that black lives don't matter to you. And then you're going to get angry when the news gets distorted on something that happened upon you. If you don't want things to happen upon you, then you don't do things upon other people that hurt them. You want someone to be nice to you, be nice to them. It goes both ways. New York City is a beautiful place. It could be better. I'm afraid living here in New York City. I'm born and raised here, raised in the community, and I'm living in fear, and I don't want to be this way. I don't want to be in fear. It's dangerous here. The people from my community primarily are out of their mind. They walk around with the marijuana. They're walking around with the marijuana. They don't want to open the door for their own people. And then you're going to get angry at a white man because he hurt your feelings. What are you doing? You don't make any sense. And I'm sad. I see us from our community, the black community. You know what they're doing now in New York City? I'm born and raised here. They're doing, what do you call it? They're injecting drug, the IV drug users. They're doing the IV drug stuff right in the street now. Right, and they're not even trying to hide it anymore. I saw that for the first time about 2 years ago. He was in a vestibule in an abandoned store, and it was a little like a vestibule, and there was two dudes in there doing it, and you see the blood coming out of his arm because he was jabbing himself with a needle. I was horrified. And then I saw it again last week. Male and female, right on my block. It's frightening to me to see that. These are relatively young people doing this. Relatively young people doing this. And now even white folk too. We're getting white folk from, I don't know where they're from. They're not New Yorkers. Definitely not New Yorkers. And they're lying on the street too now. They are coming to New York. They're here. So it's not just black folk. The white folk too from other states are coming to New York and are drug users. And what's really funny? Hear this out. You're going to find this really humorous or irony. Did you know that the drug users, the black and the white drug users, they seem to be best friends. They socialize. I kid you not. They treat one another better. The drug community, whether you're black or white, they get along. I bet they will open the door for each other. But look at this. They didn't want to open the door, the non-drug user, the security guard, The black security guard man, uh, upon asking, refused to help me with the door. I had a big stroller and I was trying to exit. And he's sitting right there. He's minding the door. He's right there. And he refused. And someone from outside my group helped me with the door. And I made sure I thanked him profusely. I said, thank you. I really appreciate it. That's what I told him. Oh, yeah, when a man, I thanked them. So I'm not demanding anything that I wouldn't do myself. I open the door for people. I keep the door open for people. It's one of the New York things to do. At least that's how I feel. But our hearts are getting cold. And I am fearful living in New York City with the rampant drug, the IV drug users. And the crime that comes with it. We have more and more of those marijuana stores all around. And it doesn't matter that we have a black mayor. Don't you look at that? So you're going to say that's Whitey's fault? We have a black mayor. And he too is not helping a finger for his black constituents. And there was a parade today in New York City. A Dominican, the country, Dominican Republic, it's a Caribbean island, was a parade today. And in one of the floats had to vote for the black mayor. He hasn't done a damn thing for anybody in this community. What's he doing? He's not cleaning the street. It's filthy. I'm sad. What's happening when we are given, the black community is giving opportunity? See, life is showing us, is there really racism? Or is it just black lives don't matter to black people? We're teaching society and we're teaching our black children and other people's children that black lives do not matter to black people. And I'm sad about that. I'm so sad. That young white girl ran up to me to help me with the door when I was at the bookstore. She's a young girl. Did she need to read a history book about black people to care about me? No. Her heart and common sense. We are our own enemies, and let's cut it out. We are feeding the beast. You thought, maybe in the past, yes, I'm born and raised in America. And I went to public school, and I know what they taught about me. I know what they think about me growing up. But now I'm an adult. And as an adult, you could choose what you want to feed. Do you want to feed harmony, love, joy, peace, or you want to feed destruction? It is your choice. If you had one of those bad black mothers, there are plenty of bad black mothers who are stressed out. I had to work around the other black women. I don't have children. I see what goes on. They're stressed out of their wits. They live in a society that says that you're ugly. You're fat and ugly, right? We all know the deal. But you don't have to agree with them. Be beautiful. Act beautiful. Beauty is what beauty does, right, people? Beauty is not a color. Beauty is not a body type. Beauty is essence, essence of love. Take back love, put it back in your heart. Self love. Love yourself. Love yourself. If Black Lives Matter, matter it to you. Matter it to you. Whatever what your color is. Black lives matter, white lives matter, yellow lives matter, brown lives matter. The rainbow matters. All life matters. All of us matter. Stop believing that. The enemy, the true enemy, wants to deceive you and make you hate yourself, hate your mothers, hate your fathers, hate your neighbor. That's what they want to teach you. I don't know where I can go. I'm frightened when I go outside. I like going outside. I need to go outside. My babies, my little doggies, I have them in the stroller. They're getting up there. Yeah, they're getting older. They need assistance sometime. I want to enjoy New York City. New York City, we have beautiful parks. We have a river, parks at the riverside. It's beautiful. But we're treating it like trash. We're throwing our garbage on the floor. Stop that. Stop it. This is a beautiful, beautiful city. And this is the skyline that I'm showing you that you can see out there. It is a beautiful place. New York City is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. We should not have to ask someone, oh, do you need help with the door? You see they need help. A woman with a stroller. And it's a man, a grown-ass man. And the man refused to open the door for me. And I don't understand this. I'm old enough to be, I'm 60 years old. I'm a 60-year-old woman, and a young 20-something-year-old black man, security guard, refused to open the door for me after I politely asked him. I said, excuse me, could you help me with the door? What? So I repeated it. I said, excuse me, could you help me with the door, please? Well, the door is right there. So his attitude stank. Wow. Do you think Black Lives Matter to him? Did Whitey teach him that? Or he taught himself that? Or his mother taught him that? Or his father taught him that? Listen to the type of music you listen to. Listen to it. What is it teaching? Did Whitey teach you that? Or you taught yourself that? Who taught you that? Who taught you don't open the door, don't help out? Who taught you these things, these behaviors? The white people helped me with the door, so I know they didn't teach you. Who taught you not to help somebody with the door? How is it that sometimes I see, and it was, I think it was today, early today, or yesterday, and I see, once in a while, I see young black men with some other race and they have the baby stroller, and they're holding the baby, and it's like, how beautiful, how beautiful. And he looks so happy. The dude was a East Asian looking woman. The guy could have been in his early 30s with a little baby, a little biracial baby, Chinese looking face, but with an afro, curly afro. It looked really cute. And he was holding the baby with such love and joy. It was beautiful to see. I don't care who you sleep with, who you're married to. See, I know that it's in you to help. See, what I pick up is that you don't feel valued. And some of you may have to go out of your race to make someone make you feel like a man. That man felt like a man. You could see it in his eyes. You could tell. And it's not the first time I saw something like that. It's like I look at it and say, wow, when a black American man has a baby, and when it's from another race, they look so proud. And I'm happy, I'm genuinely happy that he's demonstrating love for his baby. I know that they want the opportunity to feel like a man, to have his own family. I've heard men say, I want a family of my own. I want a family of my own. And I know this. I know this. I want you to have a family too. And if you need to go to another race to get it, get it. And be a man to that baby 24/7. But people, why can't you hold your own baby from a black woman and hold that baby in love and admiration? I'm just saying. I'm not trying to share. I'm trying to awaken. What are we doing to make you feel that you're not a man? Most black women who have babies have it with black men. Most black women who get pregnant and have their babies have it with black men. But I don't see you holding your own black baby in your arms. And I'm wondering, and one thing, if the black woman isn't having babies with you, but she's having them with you, what are we doing? What could we do to correct this? What could I do? I mean, I'm not married. I don't have children. But what am I doing that might be hurting you? What can I do? What could we do to make you feel like a man again? To feel accepted? What could we do? Why are you choosing music that does not edify your own people? Screw that person, your boss. It is killing you. It's killing your psyche. And it's affecting everybody else that hears that music of all races and nationalities. All who hear it are being affected, and it is in your hands. You're your own worst enemy. You are putting fuel to the fire, and I'm afraid that what happened to Maui, that fire in Maui that happened on the 8th of this month, that something like that could happen here in New York City, in Manhattan. You think what happened in Maui, that it was just an accident? No. What happened in Maui, in my opinion, was man-made. How could metal melt? You had the ship that was all mashed up, all that it was in the water, and it got burned up and melted in some parts. How could metal melt? How? How? Weaponry, direct energy weapons, direct energy weapon known as DEW, DEW, direct energy weapons. They all say it just happened, boom. But there's a lot of things being said in that about that fire. When you listen to it, I used to live right there. I used to live in Maui, in the town of Lahaina that got destroyed. It's crispy now. Crispy, crispy, all crispy. I lived there for 5 months that time. I lived on that island for 3 years. And in the town of Lahaina that got crispied for 5 months. I feel badly. And I was thinking about moving back to Hawaii. And I made my phone calls earlier in the year. I'm a veteran, and I called certain numbers that I know of the veterans place in one of the other islands. I was considering to go back to Maui. I said, hey, maybe I try one of the other islands in Hawaii because it's a series of islands. And they said, we're in bad shape here after the COVID. Things are really even more expensive, and there's not many here. Well, look at now. A whole town got wiped out. I think what happened there is called ethnic cleansing. See, in Hawaii, they say it's a lot of things I feel about Hawaii. Some of it not good. I mean, I love. It's a beautiful place, but there's a lot of things that are not good that I saw there, and I question certain things, and I really feel with what the media shared. See, there's a lot of inconsistencies. They said it would just kind of just happen. No. It didn't just happen. There were accounts that at 5:45 p.m., the Coast Guard was alerted that a group of people are in the water, that they were told to jump in the water and to rescue them. The guy said on camera, one of the two survivors who initially jumped into the water, there were two gentlemen. One was black, one was white. It sounded really weird. The black dude was the one that's doing all the talking. They were young dudes, early 30s. And they looked real healthy. And the guy said that they called the police for assistance. And the police said would jump in the water. And so they did. They were one of 12 people. They were rescued by the Coast Guard. And the Coast Guard came on. And they gave the time when they were summoned to go out there. And then they later on say that it just happened, and it was like 10 o'clock at night. 10:30. Some people 12:30 that in the morning. So it's over 6 hours. 6 hours after that time, 5:45 p.m. In the p.m. They were called the Coast Guard. So how did from 5:45 p.m. and then 12:30 in the morning? That's six and a half hours later. How come people are just leaving then? So I don't understand. It didn't just happen. They were the people at 5:45 were fleeing the flames. They were fleeing the flames. They were fleeing the flames and had to jump into the water for safety. And they had to jump into the water for safety. So how could they then say that they didn't know? Something does not add up. But yes, it's all crispy crisp, like 9/11, like 9/11, what happened on September 11th, which is coming up. September 11th is coming up, less than a month. And many of us know that that was suspicious, suspicious, right? What can cause something to disintegrate and what can cause metal to burn and disintegrate? The DEW, direct energy weapons. Direct energy weapons. You don't see it. You don't see it when it happens. You see the after effects, the scorching. They said that it was intense heat. Intense heat. If it's just a flash fire, I lived on that island for almost 3 years, and there was never a fire in Lahaina. Another area, Kihei, that's a very dry part, and it happened all the time over there in Kihei. That's the southern part of the island. That was an occurrence, a common occurrence there. But there was no flash fire all over the place, and they happened simultaneously. It happened simultaneously. It was in 3 locations, this flash fire, and then it just went whoosh. You see the cars, and they look like a bomb hit it, right? This was done, in my opinion, done deliberately. Yeah, people are going to profit off of it. See, Lahaina, the capital, the tourist capital of that island, very popular island. It's really pretty. It is pretty over there, physically pretty. Um, ethnic cleansing, and the storefronts there by the water in Lahaina, they're old. It's old, raggedy, it has an old feel look like the Wild West, those type of architecture, old time Western stuff. Yeah, I got the impression that because they made sure that got all wiped out. I mean, that was the milk and what do you call it, bread and butter of that island, Lahaina. And you never heard any fire engines on the scene. You never heard any fire engines on the scene. What happened to them? At 5:45, they were notified about the fire and that the guys had to jump into the water, but there was no fire trucks. There were no fire trucks that came. What happened from 5:45 p.m. that Tuesday, and then late that night at 10:30 p.m. or that 12:30 a.m. 6.5 hours after the 5:45 p.m. So where did the fire trucks go? Where were they? Why didn't they sound the alarm then? Hawaii has a very sophisticated alarm system, and it failed to go off. It failed to go off deliberately, in my opinion. In my opinion, it was deliberately not pulled. They said, the cell phones weren't working and 911 wasn't working. So if 911 wasn't working, how were those two dudes able to call the police? The police said, jump in the water, and then they contacted the Coast Guard that rescued them, and all 12 were rescued. And then later on, 5 others were rescued. I don't know how long those 12, the initial 12, were in the water, but some of them are saying that they were in the water for over 7 hours. I don't understand that. I don't know. They knew what area. Why couldn't the what happened, Coast Guard? Uh, it sounds like ethnic. See, they never want to say that in Hawaii. They always. I'm saying it. They want you to hear, um, how do you say? Oh, the ohana, or we the ohana, and aloha. Aloha means love. You know, hello. It's a term of uh, nicety. It's like peace, love. You know, aloha, and then mahalo means thank you. You know, ohana means family, the family, right? The ohana. Everybody talk about ohana, the family. So if everybody family, how come they did not sound the alarm for you? Who lives in Hawaii? People of color lives in Hawaii. And you know they did this. They did a no no to Hawaii before. Um, it was just a couple of years ago. Remember, they sound this alarm that they were going to be hit with some a nuke. What do you call it? Some invasion. You know, they're going to be a nuclear attack upon the island. So they sound the alarm, and people were racing for cover. They show videos of people running under the manhole. This guy opened up a manhole and put his kid in it. And then they said, "Oh, we made a mistake. Oh, it was an accident. We accidentally turned the alarm on. Oh, I'm sorry." No, they weren't sorry. Where was the Ohana then? Where was the Ohana family? They no, they're playing games. They were playing games on you. They saw how you reacted, and then they didn't turn on the alarm. They said either that Hawaii has the largest and most developed uh, alarm system for disaster because it's in the middle of nowhere. You know, they have hurricanes, uh, and other natural disasters. You know, tsunamis. So they had this very sophisticated system in the state. I think in all the United States, and who knows, maybe even the world. But it's the largest, I was told. So why didn't it go off? Why didn't you when the coast? Why didn't the Coast Guard, after seeing the melee with those people out in the water, did they not call a fire truck? There's no fire trucks in Lahaina. And there was another video of a man in Lahaina. He owned several homes, he said, and an art gallery, and is at the scene in Lahaina when it's burning. And he points in the distance. It says isn't that the Baldwin House is a landmark, a historical landmark building of the Baldwin family. And he says, it's on fire. How come the firemen aren't here? How did the guy who's doing the video, he was able to make it in his vehicle or wherever, how he got it. He was there. How is he able to get there and not the fire truck? See that, people? Who's there? Hawaii, the town of Hawaii, it's very old. It used to be a capital in its heyday. And here, the bread and butter of that island's economy, and they refuse to put the alarm on, and they refuse to tell its so-called ohana. It's so-called ohana. See, it's really weird in Hawaii when I lived there for 3 years. They have these beautiful words in Hawaii, in the Hawaiian language. It's beautiful, ohana, aloha, all that. It sounds nice, but you don't follow it. You really don't follow it. You really don't. You demonstrated that you don't, just like Black Lives Matter here. They don't matter to you. And you're just talking wind. And when you had the opportunity to show Ohana to the family of Lahaina, you refused and you made them perish. You can just imagine how many people really perished in that fire who didn't get out on time. And now they're showing videos of people, or not people, the cars. They had a whole series of cars at the waterfront. And they're all abandoned. And they're just like they're stopped in time. Where are the people that were in those cars? Most likely they jumped over the water. Most likely. They couldn't go any further. And they just stopped right there. They just stopped. Look at it. Look at the videos. It's shocking. I know Lahaina. I used to live there for 5 months. 5 months. And I had all my jobs. I arrived on the island. I got a place right in town. I rented a room right about 2.5 blocks from the banyan tree, that big tree. And I will have to walk past it to get to my job. Yeah, I work right on Front Street. All that gone now. All that gone. All the company I work for, at least 3 companies I worked for at Lahaina on Front Street. On Front Street. That's right at the water, at the shore, right there. All gone, crisp. It all disintegrated. It all disintegrated. How does that happen? I think they're doing ethnic cleansing. They're getting rid of those, like you have some developers that's sneaky. I feel some people are sneaky. And they make plans and they decide, okay, we need to revitalize this area. We need to kick it up a notch. But some people feel justified in order to make something great. You got to destroy it first. Like it's masonry. About what do you call it? Not the falcon, the phoenix. The phoenix rises from the ashes, right? They justify it with that scripture. The phoenix rises out of the flames. Yeah, that's what they're about. And so they zapped it. I think that's what they did. They zapped it with the DEW, direct energy weapons. The nature of the disaster. It looks like a bomb hit it. It's not a natural fire, people. What happened to all those people? What happened? People in Hawaii, they know how to swim. What happened to the people? There was all those cars. It's called cleansing, ethnic cleansing. But they don't want to say that because Hawaii is supposed to be the aloha state. It's no aloha. You have a large number of obesity there. People's health. A lot of the people I know that died, way before this tragedy, they die early. They don't live that long. Their health and the quality of the food suck. It's horrible. But aloha to you, right? See, that's their slogan, aloha and ohana. But then people are dying. They got a lot of drug addicts there in Hawaii, all over. I had to leave Lahaina, the place that I lived at. I had to leave because the people, they were stealing from me the food. They were stealing my food. And one of the girls that moved in, like I lived in rented a room in the main house, and then you had like a little garage that's made like in like a studio apartment. The 18-year-old girl lived in there, and she invited her 16-year-old friends there. They were the guy lit the table on fire. I saw that. I said, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Yeah. I found a place the following month. That's the only reason why I left. I liked the place. I could just walk to work. There was no problem. simple life. I was on autopilot. That's why I left. That's the only reason why I left. It was a nice neighborhood. It was nice and quiet, not fancy. It wasn't a fancy place, just a real modest place. But I felt safe to get up in the morning and go to work. Had to walk past the banyan tree with it. You hear the birds singing. They all zapped it. It's all zapped. People don't care. People say a lot of things to make you think one way, but it ain't real. And I feel that they threw those people of Hawaii under the bus. Under the bus. And now they're trying to get money, get these donations. What are they going to do with that money? What are they really going to do with that money? FEMA's supposed to kick in. FEMA were notified. They're going to redevelop it. They're going to redevelop the Lahaina Front Street. They're probably going to, unaffordable. It's probably going to be revamped, really high-end looking, no more wooden structures. It's going to be probably going to be real fancy condos and all that on the waterfront. Ethnic cleansing. Boom. But aloha to you. Aloha to you too. Yeah, there's no aloha. It's a lot of corruption there. A lot of corruption. It's sad. It's sad. I said, I had enough. I had enough. I said, I was crying one day. I had a studio. I had located. Yeah, a lot of things happened to me in Hawaii. A lot of things I've shared in the past. But one day I was sitting on my floor and I was crying. And I had to ask myself, I said, do you really like it here or you want to show off, make people think you like it there because it's in Hawaii? I said, I don't like it here. I said, okay, to myself. I said, I'm going back to New York. And here, look, I'm back here. And I'm scared again. I'm scared that of the behavior of the people. I came back to New York to be with black people, to be with my so-called own. And here my own, it feels like you turn your back on us, on one another. And you're bringing up a slogan, Black Lives Matter, and try to force white people to tell you that. But you got to tell it to yourself. You don't even believe it for yourself. Why wouldn't you want to open up a door for a woman with a stroller, someone old enough to be your mama? And you refused. And I asked nicely. And I told you this story that only, at a bookstore, I was assisted by a young white girl on the sidewalk, seeing me that I'm trying to get my stroller out the door. It was a very heavy door. And the door was closing. Did that security guard run out the store in fear? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, he was making an excuse. I just said, it's okay. I said very softly, it's okay. I know you don't care anymore, and I don't understand why. Why? Why are you hating us so much? Why are you hating me? I've never done you any harm. I've never done you any harm. Personally. And you do you think you look like a man to other men when you don't help someone who's asking you nicely, excuse me, could you please help me with the door? Do you think if your mother saw that, do you think that she'd be proud of you? Do you? Do you think that was honorable? Yet you want honor. Honor is given to you. I mean, honor, people give honor when you do honorable things. But you're willing to run outside like that guy last week, the what do you call it? They call it an influencer, who was offering free gifts, and you run out there for a freebie, but yet you won't help a black woman with a stroller trying to get in a door. Does that look like? Does that help your manhood? Does this improve your status in society? Does destroying somebody else's property make you look uh, cultured? What does it make you look like? Why are you doing this to yourself? Why? There are some good people out there who aren't doing a nicety to get a penny from somebody. And it's something that I wouldn't ask if I don't do it myself. If I don't help people with the door or the elevator, if I don't do that, then but see, I do these things. I like doing niceties for others. I don't want to have to be prompted to, told to do something. I'd rather do something because I want to do something. Why don't we want to do something when you can? When you can. No one is twisting your arm. No one was twisting that little white girl's arm when she ran up to me to assist me with the door. Why? Why don't you love yourself? Why doesn't Black Lives Matter to you, black people? Young black people. Why? And when you do it for a fucking penny. So you could buy your drugs. Come on, dude. Come on. You're worth more than that. You're worth more than that. I know that you want to be treated like a man. I know so. When I repeat, I see you with some of those babies in your arms just yesterday, 2 days ago. It was a young man with his woman holding the baby in his arms. Oh, it looks so adorable. I know that's the real you. And you want the opportunity to feel like a man. And that's why initially I waited a second or two as I was at the door with the security guard right there. I wanted to give you the opportunity to take the initiative to help. It was obvious. I was leaving. I'm right there at the door. It's a big ass stroller, and it pulls inward into the store, and so I have a big stroller. So how am I gonna get out? I said, please, could you please assist me with the door? Oh, you see the door? Come on, dude. Do you edify the black race or yourself? Do you edify yourself or some other groups? What has happened to you to treat your own like this? What could we do to help you, to heal you? You need healing. We need healing. I am afraid, and I repeat again, I am afraid that New York City is going to go through some hell in the near future. And that's also why I want to leave, why I feel so fearful, because I sense that something big is going to happen, and I would be afraid to get in the way These people here where I live in New York City is a time bomb ready to happen. These people are on the edge and they want to find an excuse to do acts of violence against me, against you, against themselves. Hawaii, if the Aloha State got zapped, and how they say that their ohana means family, that you help the family, and they did that to their own. They allowed their own to get fried in that fire in a Hawaii the other day. Don't you think that they would do that here in New York City? They could do it. Well, they already did it in 9/11. Don't you think that they're waiting for things to happen and they set up people to work in certain jobs, like our mayor, our black mayor, that's pretty much standing down and allowing uh, Mayday to happen? Mayday to happen. He has abandoned that dude, our black mayor, born and raised here. He's raised in a very black neighborhood near where I was raised, not far, about a mile or 2 miles away. Real poor black neighborhood, South Jamaica, Queens. Yeah, I was from Hollis, Queens, right next door. It's all considered Jamaica, Queens, but this section is Hollis, and then he lived in South Jamaica, Queens, not far. Real poor black neighborhood. He knows what's going on. And here, he's given the opportunity. We are black people in America are given the opportunity to perform. But what are we doing? We have thrown ourselves under the bus. We have thrown ourselves under the bus. And we're doing all these other things for other races, other people, other nationalities, but our own. They only hire us so that we can destroy ourselves. That's what we're doing. We are our own worst enemy, and not Whitey, as you used to say before. You are destroying yourself. You are putting the drugs in your arms. You are walking with your pants below your buttocks. You're not even combing your hair anymore. You just let yourself go. And when you're in a position to help yourself and help your own, you don't do it. You've been bewitched. And you got to wake up. You have to wake up yourself and say, enough is enough. I don't want my city, my beautiful New York City, to go into flames like Maui, like the island of Maui. Manhattan is an island like Maui. It is a small island, but it has big buildings, and it can get zapped again. Things could be triggered. I think what they're going to do, Manhattan, that they're going to trigger the people, because many of us have the jab in the arm, and are walking around with the cell phones, and are drugged up with the marijuana. What did they put in that marijuana? Look at the guy. Look at what they act like. You don't think that they put something in that thing? And they're putting in black neighborhoods these dispensaries, as they call it. Those drug dispensaries. You don't see those white people doing it in the street? You are. And you need to stop it. If you don't realize how you're behaving foolishly. And you're endangering yourself and the community at large. And you need to stop it. You want to feel like a man? Act like a man. Dress like one. Act like one. Your body's the temple. Your body is holy. You are holy. And you forgot that. You forgot it. Wake up. You are holy. Live a holy life. Live a life with integrity. And respect yourself and respect your women and fellow man. Respect humanity. Respect it. You want to receive respect, you got to give it. What you want in life, you want money, you got to give money. You got to earn it. The law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity is at hand. And you could feed the fire or you could feed peace. Feed peace, people. Feed it. This is a nice place, New York City. New York City is a beautiful place, and I have fear now. I have a lot of fear and sadness because I don't see, I'm losing hope on my town, on my city. And I don't know what to do. It's going to be costly for me to move. I don't want to feel forced to leave the country. I don't want to leave here. I would be losing a lot of money. And is it affordable? I could move somewhere else and it could follow me the problems. You think you're safe and then boom, something else happens there. There's no guarantee in life. There's no guarantee of safety. And I want to make it work here. I want to make it work in my city. I don't want to have to leave the country. I was to leave last year, but plans fell through. And now I want to leave again. I'm seeing things, and I don't feel safe here. I said, wow, this is happening. People, what could we do? What could we do as a community? If we don't stay together, it's going to be taken from us. If we don't stay together as a people, as a nation, we're not going to stand. We are not going to stand if we don't stay together as a nation. They're not just wanting to target black people. They're going to target all of us. But they're using you as the tool, as the weapon, to facilitate a lot of its destruction. But they're going to destroy all of us. All of us. Just like they destroyed all those people in Lahaina. And they're probably now going to trying to find out what company they're going to use to redevelop the area. It's going to take years, people. Years. Everything in Hawaii has to be imported. They don't manufacture like cement and metal. Everything has to be imported. It's expensive. When I lived there 20-something years ago, I bought a lemon, and it cost 75 cents for one lemon. It cost me. Yeah, that's why the health status of those people in Hawaii is so poor. They are obese. They're not healthy. Some of the friends I had died of cancer. Yeah, they're not healthy people at all. They don't live that long. A lot of my friends died, and acquaintances died. Yeah, they say aloha and all this and that, but they don't really show you what's going on. The people there are hurting inside. Many people there, they're Hawaiian and they don't want to marry their own. The same thing there. The Hawaiians don't want to marry other Hawaiians. They'll marry another Pacific Islander or a white person or somebody else. They don't want to marry their own. They hate themselves. But part of the culture is the aloha, but again, it's that other component to it. They're being weeded out. What we saw a couple of days ago in the island of Maui is ethnic cleansing. The phoenix rises out of the ashes, and they're going to establish something new there. They're not going to put the same type of stuff there. It's going to take years. You think just, I'll just do my shop. No, it's the whole thing. It's toxic. It's all toxic now. It's toxic. Did you see the videos of that place? They're going to do the same thing here. They're waiting for an opportunity. And I'm just hoping that we don't fall for it and that we come together. Come together, people. Come together. Start watching videos that edify you, that teaches manhood. I mean, despite a lot of things, bad things about this particular person, Andrew Tate, he is I guess you call it influencer. He's living in Europe. He's the guy that they held him in custody for a couple of months. And they're now trying to accuse him of sex trafficking, human trafficking. Yes, in the past he had said some things that were unwise. He was a pauper. But he has some good value. One thing he does, he pulled himself out of poverty, and he's trying to encourage men to be men to take responsibility. He is not a perfect man, and some things he said was wrong, but some things he has hit it on the head. Some things he's hit on the head. And I was watching some of his videos, a lot of his videos, about taking initiative, about being strong, about exercising your body, disciplining yourself. That's what you should do. Listen to him. He is of mixed race heritage, yes. His father is a black man. He was a light-skinned black man, his father, from America. He worked for the Air Force and the CIA. He was a high intelligent man. And yet the system got him and, wouldn't give him his benefits from the military. Something happened, and he supported his family by playing chess. He was a chess master. And when I found that out about him, about his heritage, I said, I got to find out more about this man. When I found out that his father was Air Force and a master chess player, I said, whoa, I'm going to find out more about this person here. And I started listening to his videos. I said, wow. Again, he's not a perfect man. But principles are principles that you can follow. Principles are like natural law. And see, there's a natural law you need to learn. Learn it. And become a man or become a woman. Become the man that you are, that you can become. Become a woman that you can become. Don't let the system take away what is rightfully yours. Do not let them take it away. Do not let them take away your dignity. Keep your dignity and love yourself. Love your body. Respect your body. You want respect? You give respect. You want love? You give love. You want money? Give money. The law of reciprocity. That's all I'm saying. I saw a message that come up. Let me see here. Oh, they took it down. Okay. Yeah, the message was deleted. Oh well. Yeah. So I say I've been on here for a while. I I um I don't give this message to slammer. See, a lot of videos. I've seen them. The titles that they have these titles, and you could tell that they hate each other. I see some video, the titles, and they want to like put a war between the black man and the black woman. I'm not about that. I'm not about that. And it's foolish for you to do that. It's foolish. I see it. And they're foolish. They're like hate game, hate. The hate's not going to help anybody. Hate the sin, hate the behavior, but love the person. I love you guys. I love you guys. That's why I moved back to New York. I left Maui. I was sitting on the floor and crying. And I said, I'm not happy here. I want to get back home. And I want to be and then live with my own people here in New York, where I'm born and raised. Went to its public schools. I came back for you. I want to be around you. I want us to live in a community of love and peace. And our home is being taken away. It's being taken away from us. They're importing, the country is importing migrant workers to replace you. They're being brought here to displace you from your job, from your community, and they're forcing you out to live on the street, to become drug addicts. That is their plan for you, to destroy you, to remove you. I don't want you removed. I want you to stay and be the man that you are. I see what happens. I used to be in private sector. I see how they treated you back in the day. I saw it, and I hated it. And I decided to come back to New York to be and live amongst my own. And now I feel like, wow, you don't even want to open the door for a woman old enough to be your mother out the store. And you're right there. And you said no. You refused. You are digging your own grave. Stop it. Stop it, people. Stop digging your own grave. You are wanted. You are needed. And we truly love you. We do. I love you. And I feel pain for you. And I don't know how to help. What could we do to help? What could we do? I know that you want to be a man. I know that you want a family of your own. I see you when you're with those other women and you have babies with those other people. I see how you look in your eye and you have love for those babies. I see it. You want your own family, and I want you to have it. It's called social engineering, what they're doing to us. Social engineering. They don't want you with your own. They want you to lose your identity. They want you to have babies with anybody else but your own. And they want you to forget who you are. Don't forget who you are. They want you to think that you are a woman and you're a man. Or they want you to believe that you're a man and you're a woman. Stop it. It's part of the ethnic cleansing. It is social engineering. You are being socially engineered. And you are pulling the trigger. Stop it. Stop it. I love you guys. I truly do. I truly do. You are powerful. But you're using your power against yourself. You're hurting yourself. And you don't see it. You think you're hurting me. You're hurting yourself. You are hurting yourself. I want you to wake. I want us all to wake up. Please, people, wake up. They're using your very own to trick you, to harm you. They're creating music that is designed for your destruction. They are using it against you. They create movies that is designed to change the way you think about your very own. Notice now the commercials that they have? They have biracial couples now. They don't want you to have your own. They want you to forget your identity. They want you to hate your own women and men. They want you to hate, to be a self-hater, and then promote the thing, Black Lives Matter. But to whom? You need to believe it about yourself. You. And only you could remove it. Move the stigma that you have. You are valuable. You don't need history or some pyramid from the ancient Kemet. You need now. We're not living in ancient Kemet. We're living right here in New York City or what do you call it? Georgia. All those different cities, the states. Yeah, Atlanta. I meant to say Atlanta, Georgia. You're living in the now. Now is the time. Now. They are setting us up. That event that happened last week with the young 22-year-old giving out a freebie was a test run using all these young black dudes to destroy, to set you up. They are setting you up. They are setting you up for mass destruction and bringing in the migrants, workers, to replace you. I don't want them to replace you, black man and black woman. I don't want you to be replaced. You've built America. You built America. And now you're going to just let the system throw you under the bus? Wake up and smell the coffee, what they're doing. They are programming you for self-destruction. Don't allow them to. You are loved. Tell yourself right now, those who are listening, that you are loved. You are loved. Tell yourself that. Every day. Tell yourself that you love yourself. And anything that you don't like about yourself, correct it. Prune yourself. Clean yourself. Clean your home. Say, I am worthy of all things. I have a bright future. I am loved and I love back. I am the temple and I'm going to serve my temple and treat it well. I love myself and I will love my neighbor. Start saying those things. Start listening and seeking out true leadership. Or be a leader. A leader is not a punk. A leader is not a destroyer. A leader is a thinker. A leader is a creator. Be those things, and you too shall rise. Don't let them take away your spot here. We need you. I want you. Thank you again for listening to this live stream. If it means anything to you, what I said, please support this channel. To do so, my channel name is Spirit Journey. And on my channel, on the banner, on the right-hand side, you see my PayPal Me link. Just click on the link and follow the prompt. Any amount would be greatly appreciated. And I'm thanking you in advance. I thank you for your help, your assistance. And I thank you for being my people, for being my friend, for being you. I thank you. And I care about you. Take care and enjoy your evening, your night with peace, love, and favor and harmony. Okay? Thank you again. See ya.